And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the group stage here of the Hispanic StarCraft 2 League of the HSL Group G. We are halfway through the group. We just wrapped up with all of Thavo's TvZs, where he had mostly success, but did stumble towards the end. CristoDorado did cheese the hell out of him with the same build 3 games in a row. Did eventually succeed and eventually did overwhelm and overcome. But now he's up against Protoss. Now he's up against Hunter. Hunter, of course, the Spanish Protoss player, is going to be stepping into the ring, and we'll see how he compares. We'll see how Hunter will perform, and whether or not CristoDorado, whether or not he has a different build here for this matchup, and whether he does, or if he doesn't, does he have one build for each matchup? I'm expecting cheese. I'm expecting aggression. We'll see how he performs. Let's go. Let us go as we are jumping into game 1, going to be on ley lines. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have our blue Protoss player, our blue Protoss from land of Spain. It is Hunter. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the green Zerg player, or the green Zerg himself. Also, the Italian Zerg living in the land of Spain. It is CristoDorado. Go. 14 pool. So this is already something different. Now, based on the series against Thavo, I expect cheese. I expect all-ins. I expect this to be a fast series. It is going to be a pool first opener out of Cristo. Meanwhile, Hunter setting up on the low ground, going for a gate expand. Probe scout across the map. Hunter will confirm what's going on. We'll see where this leads us. Is this going to be a roach rush? Is this going to be something different? I'm curious. We'll see where he takes us. Already, though, a different build, which I appreciate. Not the same build that we saw against Thavo, against Terran. But once again, I do want to say thank you so much to PvZ as well, or PvZ even. Thank you so much for all the gifted subs. We appreciate the support as always. Gracias. Thank you. As the probe scout comes in, so it's 14 pool into a gas before expansion. I would say that Hunter, it is a misstep as he checks the low ground. He doesn't check the gases. This could just be pool first. True, it could just be pool first into a hatchery. He doesn't know if there are gases behind this. Early gas signifies aggression, signifies early lair, early link speed, early roaches, just earlier tech here before the hatchery. Hatchery now on the way. Is going to be Zealot first. Here we do have a 2-gate response out of Hunter on the low ground, which is what you want to do. Basically, 2-gate response means that we don't just have Zealots to defend, it means that we have adept follow-up, and we can punish the opposing player with Zealot adept early on. So this does give Hunter counterattack potential. The downside here is that it's going to be a delayed hatchery. It's going to be a delayed Nexus even. Nexus is going to be delayed. There we go. Second Zealot does arrive. Here come the Adepts. Now this should be 2 Zealots and 2 Adepts, and this should trigger a counterattack from Hunter. Back at home, Cristo has to be careful. He has to be worried for that. Gas is being taken. Ooh, skipping link speed. Skipping link speed into the lair. This is dangerous. Now there is going to be a safety spine crawler that will help defend the main base mineral line, but here comes that push. Here comes that early attack. And the Zerg player has to respond to this, has to respect this. The Queen is going to be under fire. Now, this is premature. Typically, the Protoss moves out with the second Adept, but the second Adept just now pops out, so this is an earlier push. And because that is not going to be able to achieve as much. Yeah, plenty of Lings. Queen's in position. Lings, they come in for the surround. Ooh, they shut down the first Zealot. Massive pick-off. Yeah, that should not have happened. The first Zealot does fall. Second Zealot comes in, also going to get surrounded. This time, we do have some more support. Lings are going down. Adepts, they trade well here, but again, that second Adept was later. Or again, the push was just too early. So it has less power in it. And now we're down to 2 Adepts. Now, up to 3. Now, these Adepts, they can one-shot workers. They can one-shot. We have Glaives as a follow-up. Extra gateways. So Twilight counts with the extra gateways. I'm assuming it's going to be Glaives. We see Spine Crawler repositioning. Adepts say shade into the main. The Spine Crawler out of position. Oh, and drones are going to go down. Yeah, boys are being pulled. And Hunter, he is overwhelming. This is getting out of hand. He's getting out of hand. Far too much damage here so far. 5, 6 drone kills, getting up to 7, getting up to 8. Oof. 8, 9, up to 10 drones going down. Can we get 11? Not quite, but 10. 10 drone kills. Alongside 8 lings, and with that, Cristo's economy is crippled. His economy is crippled. He did rush into the lair, but right now we don't know what this lair was going to be for. He's stuck redroning. He has to redrone, he has to resaturate. This could have been for Nidus all-in, this could have been for Roaches, could have been for 2-base Muta, could have been for 2-base Hydra even. True, that's also a build, I guess. There was potential for this, but we can see that we can't make anything. He's got an abundance of gas. He's got 500 gas in the bank, no link speed, and again, can't really do much with himself here. Meanwhile, Glaive Adepts. Glaive Adepts is the follow-up. Now, this is a different variation of Glaives in the sense that there's no Robo. There's no Robo, so there's no War Prison. It is going to be a Nidus all-in, but the problem is, what are we Nidusing? Slowlings. Oh, Nidus Swarm Host. Okay. Okay, that makes more sense. As we're trying to get our 2-base saturation. So it's going to be a Nidus Swarm Host off of 2 bases here for the Zerg player. Adepts are going to hit first. Adepts are going to hit first, they're going to hit hard. But remember, no Robo means no War Prism, means no reinforcements across the map. So no Warpins across the map. They're going to be back at home instead. There is that one Spine Crawler to hold the line. And that is the only thing keeping CristoDorado alive. There's no Roaches, there's 2 Queens, there's slow links to defend. It's really just one Spine. If this Spine Crawler falls, that's game. To be honest. And there's not that many Adepts. Into double star, Jesus. Honestly, if Hunter had gone for a Robo into Prism, into just more Warpins across the map, he could just end the game. He could just end the game here. Oh no, the wall is wide open. Adepts, they just bypass the Spine Crawler, and there's no answer. There's no answer to this. I assumed that there was going to be at least a full wall, but the Spine Crawler is out of position, drone's going down, and that's it. That's just game. Drones, they cannot fight this. They cannot engage. The drones, they escape into the night. Let's go. They escape into the night. I mean, that's a way to keep them alive. Uh-oh. As long as it survives. We have Swarm Hosts popping out. Lings, they escape. They just run away from the Adepts into the Nidus. Let's go. In my mind, they're all just cramped in the Nidus. They're cramped in there, trying to hide. Adepts, they shade back into the natural. They can just wait out the Locust wave, and they can just fight these 2 Locusts as well. Shading back in. They commit. Boys are being pulled, and we're going just into Mass Void Ray. Honestly, Hunter could do whatever he wants. Yeah, GG. I was gonna say, if Hunter wanted to, we could just keep warping into depths. So you just keep warping into depths and just send them across the map. Void Rage, a fancy way to end it. Unable to get into it though. GG gets called, and Hunter takes game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Glazer's 2-base Zerg is kind of suspect. I mean, I would say that, in a sense, yes, just because there was a higher chance that it was 2-base Roach, but because of the early economic damage, like, remember, winding it back, in the beginning of game 1, what happened? 10 drones were killed. He killed 10 workers at the start of the game. So because of that, I would say it's a good thing to just follow it up with 2-base Adepts. Like you see that in pro play as well. Like if you cripple your opponent, just go into Adepts as a follow-up. Like into Glaives as a follow-up, I should say. Even if there were Roaches, there wouldn't be enough Roaches to stop just because of the amount of economic damage done at the start of the game. If it wasn't for those early 10 drone kills, I would agree. But because of that damage, I think it's like pretty standard. As we're now getting into game number 2, spawning in the top right-hand corner of Amygdala, we have our blue Protoss from land of Spain. It is Hunter. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the green Zerg player from the land of Italy, living in the land of Spain. It is CristoDorado. Here we go. Going hatch first. Going hatch, pull. So far this looks like the same build. Hatch, pull into delayed gases, into 2-base lair. what I should say, sorry, my apologies. I say this is the same build. I believe last game it was pool first, this time hatch first. So this is a little bit of a more economic start, but still later gases here from CristoDorado. Probe Scout does confirm this because this standard opener out of Hunter, and we'll see what Hunter goes for. Once again, we could see a Glaive Adept variation. We are on a larger map. Welcome one and all to Amygdala. Amygdala is a larger map. If we do see glaives, I would want to see a robo alongside it with a War Prism. Just so you can reinforce and have a little bit more mobility with it, just so you can get across the map faster as well. We'll see what opener Hunter goes for. Likewise, our eyes are also on CristoDorado here to see if he does go for the lair. As second gas, yep. Second gas is on the way. We've seen this before. This should be for Roachnitis. This should be for a fast lair. I believe this is going to be a 240 lair timing. So 240 lair timing into Roaches, into Nidus all in. This is the same build that he did against Thavel. This is the same build that we saw against Terran. So he's walling up, getting ready for his lair. He should have the money for it. Yep, there it is. So 240 lair timing, as we did mention. So 240 lair into Roaches, into Nidus, into an all-in across the map. Oh, that is not a Roach Warren. Okay, so I had assumed that there was going to be a Roach Warren as a part of this wall for a Nidus Roach all-in. Because there's no Roach Warren here, he could be trying to go back into 2-base Swarmhost. Into Swarmhost instead. Okay, so he's building up. Meanwhile, Twilight Council opener out of Hunter. This is looking like glaives again. We'll see if he throws down a robo. I'm not as fond of this build for Hunter if he doesn't have a robo on Amygdala. He does scout a full wall here, a full wall on 2 bases, and we'll see how he does deviate here. Because of the full wall, now, I mean, there's no way in, right? Like, there's no way for Glaive Adepts to get in. So this could be a DT-based opener into Archon instead. And we'll see. As he stays in gas. 2 extra gateways, looks like the same response. Oh, there it is, DTs, okay. Dark Shrine, then into the gates. So DT opener instead. Overseer comes in for the scouts. This is actually, oh my, no, the scout gets denied. Second Overseer. This is a big commitment to the scout, actually. Double Overseer into the bases. But this also reveals that now Hunter knows it's 2-base lair. I mean, he didn't have confirmation before. I guess he could assume, but now he's aware of the lair timing. Ooh, hidden Roach Warren. So, a couple of things. First things first. Now, what this late Roach Warren means is that Roach Speed is late as well, right? The lair is done. We can afford Roach Speed. If the Roach Warren was thrown down earlier, then Roach Speed would already be in production. So this is a little bit inefficient. It's a bit of an inefficient way to get into, like, Roach Nidus. Nidus is on the way as well. +1 range, okay. So it's getting into Roach Nidus. Overseer gets hunted down. There is both Overseers actually were killed. Yeah, third Overseer on the way. Hunter will at least stumble across that Overseer. Oh, he does. Yeah, he does spot it. Does spot it. Does shut down the Changeling. Nidus Swarm is done. He's chasing down that Overseer. Trying to. He's looking. There is another Overlord here on the right hand side, and you can see it be activated. So it looks like he's trying to go for Nidus here. There is an Adept in position. So both these players being from Spain, it's possible that they both, that I should say Hunter is familiar with Cristo, because Hunter, it looks like he's getting ready for Nidus. Like, you can see pylons in the main base, Adept patrolling on the right, we do see the Adept patrolling on the left. He is preparing for Nidus play, and he does find another Overseer. It does look like he does nothing but Nidus-based play, so I'm sure he's a very predictable player. We saw that against Thavel earlier, we're seeing that here. Infestation bit, that should be for Swarmhost. And Stalkers, they break out. Find another Overlord. Blink is now done. As of course they go into Blink, so DT's into Blink. And actually, not Swarmhost, going into Infestors. Okay, Smite is going to go down, +1 will finish. Roaches, they can hold their own. Nidus into the main base, Zealots are in position. The wall's being knocked down. That Nidus will not complete. Yeah, 3 Zealots is enough. Nidus outside of the bases. Observer does spot this. Oh, bit of a mistake there from Cristo. Nidus does complete. Hunter racing back home. There are DCs to defend, but there is detection. Yeah, Dark Templar they're dealt with. Stalkers, they come in from behind. They shut down the initial Nidus. Going for the Roaches. Yeah, this is going to be cleaned up. Completely cleaned up. Every single Roach is going to go down. We do have a Nidus in the main base, and no reaction so far here, but I don't think it matters. I think it's actually better for Hunter if this finishes. Like, it would be better, yeah, if Roaches get sent out because they're going to die. Yeah, the Roaches, it's going to be a one-way trip. Nidus Worm goes down. The Roaches, they're trapped. They're trapped in the main base. No. Yeah, again, this is just better here for Hunter. Shuts down the entire army. And there's nothing left. There's nothing left here. Nidus at the natural. Again, for this to finish is also better for Hunter. If he can target down that Nidus, he can trap the army. There it is. Blinks in. Ooh. Gets 1 Roach. Gets 2 Roaches towards the end. Another Nidus into the main. And it's all being shut down. We have Swarm Hosts on the way. We're stuck on 2 bases. Right now, Hunter has a better economy, is in a better position. It is always difficult to make the decision to counterattack, but right now, Hunter looks like he is expanding. Yeah, taking a 3rd base. Taking a 3rd, is expanding, finds another Nidus, knocks it down. We can see Cristo going for a ninja base, top left, to try to maintain himself. Even if this was just a standard 3rd base, I think it's fine for Hunter to allow it to get up and running. Like, there's no rush. Oh, but he's pushing. This move, I mean, he does have a recall back home, so he can always recall if he has to, if he needs to. This does finish. Going for the Locust Wave. This base is going to be denied. And Hunter looks like he doesn't care. Looks like he's just committing. Another Nidus. Now, this is giving it is giving Cristo like a chance here to recover. Because that's a kill, not a cancel. It's a kill in the base. When Nidus Worm's on the way, Hunter just wants to go for the kill. And the reality is that Cristo cannot defend against this. He cannot deal with this army. Hunter, he's moving in. There's 1 Spine, 4 Queens, 1 Transfuse, and a Dream. We got the Slow Link support. Let's go. The Slow Lings are here. Nidus finishes. There was that 1 Transfuse. Defensive Locust Wave. And Hunter, he overwhelms. There's just nothing here. There's nothing here. There's a couple of Roaches, a couple of Slowlings. Yo, the Fungal on the army. Let's go. Fungal's the army. Alas, we can just still blink back. And Hunter, he breaks through. He breaks through that defensive line. Dives on top of the main army. And with that, there's just nothing here. There's nothing here. GG gets called, and Hunter will take the series. We'll take the tour. GG. GG. Just catching up in the chat. Yo, shout out to Flipper Flapjack. God, oh my God. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session and time looking at music as well. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hope you had a great time. And welcome to the HSL. Welcome to the Hispanic Star League. We're in the group stage. We're in Group F. We're in Group G. We're in Group G. And Hunter will take the initial 2-0, but as a reminder, we are still playing out Game 3. All 3 games are played, and this will give Cristo a chance to recover as we get into the ace match. Again, we expect cheese, we expect all-ins out of our Zerg player here from our Protoss, though, has been looking very solid in the defense. So getting into that third game and spawning in the top left-hand corner of King's Cove, we have our Spanish Protoss player, the blue Protoss, leading the series 2-0. It is Hunter. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Italian Zerg player living in Spain. It is CristoDorado. Ooh, 14 pool once again. So once again, 14 pool. I say once again, this is the same pool timing that he went for in game 1. So this is the same as game 1, going pool first into Lings early on. I'll be honest, I'm not too fond of pool first here on King's Cove. This is a very large map, long rush distance by ground. This means that if he wants to go for Ling aggression early on, it's going to be pool into gas. If he wants to go into Ling aggression, and he will, it will take longer to get across the map and longer to reinforce. So there's less of a chance for this to actually get damage. Hunter's coming with a probe scout. With this probe scout, he should confirm the late expansion, and he should confirm the early gas and early pool. So Hunter, he should be able to see everything, and he should respond with a Zealot. With a Zealot back at home and a Wall. So far, Hunter, he dips in. Does dip in. Yep, he confirms the gas, the pool, the non-existent hatchery. He knows. And here come the 6 Lings. And there's plenty of time here to throw down that Zealot. Now, my concern here is that this feels like an overreaction. Basically, we do see Hunter, just like in game 1, going for a 2-gate setup, double pylon before expanding. I do think that, especially against a pool first on this map, you can be greedy and you can take a faster Nexus, still get the Zealot, of course. This is more of a 12 pool defense, if this was a little bit more committed. Regardless, he's going to be safe. He's going to be safe. He's going to be fine. He's going to be sound. This will also trigger the counterattack of the double Zealot, double Adept. If you remember, in game 1, the double Adept, really triple Adept, got 10 drone kills. And he basically won the game from there. He won the game from there. He got 10 drone kills. Then he followed up with the Glaive Adepts, if you recall. So we're expecting something similar here. As Lings, they poke in, they poke out. As we saw, they didn't really do anything. We do see a much earlier lair this time. We skip Ling speed, it was early gas into a 220 lair time. 220. Very fast lair here by Cristo. Takes a faster second gas geyser as well. Now, with the lair this early on, I mean, we can't really afford like Roach Nidus, Spine Crawlers on the way. This feels like maybe Infestation Bit into Swarm Host, into 2-base Swarm Host Nidus. That's what this feels like, but we'll see. Like, Roaches don't make as much sense here. Just because, like, we don't really have an economy, or the tech, of course. Like, the Roach one would already be on the way. So this should be Infestation Pit. I say should. If you want to get really spicy, this could be 2-base Muta, and, like, insanely fast Spire. We can't afford it right now. He just doesn't have the money. That'd be crazy. We do have the Twilight Council response out of Hunter. Adepts and Zelda moving in. Low Lings to defend. They are slow, but they get a surround. Yeah, they get the surround. Zelda's going to be going down. Adepts, they shade into the main base. They get some drone kills. They get 1, they get 2 so far. 2, 3 drones going to be falling. That is good. He also gets a full scout. He confirms the lair. And he could snipe the queen, but the queen will survive. Crystal, he backs off. Now, we do have that wall off. Lair is done. At this point, we should be seeing tech soon. It is going to be the Glaive Adept follower. This is just like game 1. This is honestly almost just like game 1. There's the full wall. Triple Evo chamber. Very expensive wall as well. Triple Evo, Spine Crawler. Is going into Roaches. Once again, this fast lair didn't really accomplish anything. I guess it accomplishes an Overseer scout, but this is an expensive scout. Man, we got a 220 lair timing for an Overseer. It's crazy. It's not very efficient. It's not very efficient. Like, there's definitely ways to tighten up this all-in and this 2-base build. Yeah, it's gonna be Nidus Roach, not Nidus Swarm Host, not yet. But again, we can't really afford much at the moment, and we'll see if he can survive the Adepts. Now, this time, the Spine Crawler should be maintained here in position. This is still a weak point in the defense. This is still very much so a weak point in the wall. And we'll see how soon these adepts hit. As adepts are building up. They're building up at home. Stargate follow-up. Honestly, a really strong follow-up. Imagine defending against Roach play with like 1 or 2 Void Rays. Like, Void Rays are going to be insane here in the defense. Adepts move out. Overseer moves in. Hey, there's potential for the Nidus. Stalker's out of position. Oh, never mind. Never mind. No Nidus. Swarmhost will shut this down. Sorry, the Stalker will shut this down. Changeling waddling in. Here come the adepts. Remember, this spine crawl is the only thing keeping these adepts out. I say that, we do have a full wall with another Evo chamber. Nidus into the natural. Do we have enough supply here? Do we have anything? There's nothing in the Nidus. Okay. It's not, okay, there we go. Roach they transfer, which is dangerous. The wall is being broken. Yeah, the wall is broken. Adepts are breaking through. Roaches they get across the map. Nidus Swarm is going to go down. And Adepts they can shade into the bases. They can shade in. And they will. Yeah, they shade in, they shade past. Roaches are cleaned up. And there's very minimal defense. He gets into the mineral line. Lings, they're going to evaporate. There are a couple of Roaches to defend. True. That means they're going to get picked off. But they do defend. They do save the workers. One Roach goes down. The Adepts they shade in towards the natural. Oof. No, they turn and fight. Drones are going to fall. So far, 6, 7 drone kills. 7 drones go down. Cristo is down to 22 workers. 22 drones left. Barely an economy. This is basically a 1-base economy. And we spoke about the Stargate Void Ray response. And there it is. Void Rays are coming out. They will completely shut this down. Like, nothing shoots up. Nothing shoots up. Nidus wouldn't even finish. And these Void Rays can hunt down the Overseers. Can hunt down the Overseers. He spots the Changelings. And now Crystal, he has to do something that he never does. He has to drone. He's forced to drone. Oh god, I'm still looking at this wall and I just see just like minerals. It's just, oh god, it's things that he can't afford. But he's forced to drone behind this infestation bit. That should be for the Swarm Host once again. Void Rays hunting down any stray Overlords. And there are some here on the right hand side. And true, Hunter, you can just push. For now, they're just going to be expanding. Going to expand. He can go into Blink. Fleet Beacon's on the way, getting into Sky Toss. Hunter's in control. He's in full control this game, and Cristo from here, I mean, Swarm has had potential. That is true. They have potential to nibble away at the bases and maybe deny the third. Link speed is on the way. 8-minute link speed. Let's go. Let's go. I don't think Hunter knows the timing difference. Not that I know it either. Well, the gases. The gases would be the tell, because a 12 pool doesn't come with gases, right? I mean, I guess it could be like a 13-12. I guess. But they still delayed expansion as well. True, true. Which there wouldn't be a base with a 13-12. So this tells. There are tells. What MMR is this? I guess Master is 1. Master's 1 to low GM, I believe, is the 2 players. So like low GM. As nice worms are finishing up. Milo 4K, yeah, this is like 5K, 5.2 to 5.5, I would say. As we have more Nidus worms, again they're being spotted, so far they're being shut down. But you're right, the ladder can be a wild place. So like playing safe might just be the the call to make. It also depends. Like I don't know if Cristiano or CristoDorado ever goes like 13-12 or anything like that. Like historically, Nidus wave coming in, Locust wave even, more Stormers being shut down, or more Nidus Storms even. And the question becomes, what shoots up in the Zerg army right now? Okay, so we got drones, we got roaches, we got swarm hosts, we got 2 queens. Sorry, 3. We got 3 queens for Crystal. That's a lot of anti-air. That's crazy. Spire is on the way, and that will help against the Sky Toss, but it's still in production, and Hunter should be pushing soon. Right now, these swarm hosts, they're at least buying time. They're buying time, and they're keeping the Protoss player back home. You can see he's targeting the bases. But eventually, Hunter's gonna push. And when he does, he's not gonna stop. Yeah, he's pushing. he's moving out. At this point, he can afford to throw away some probes. The Spire is almost done, but then you have to wait for the Corruptors, and even then, there's not that much money. There's not that much resources for Corruptors either. And here comes Hunter. That's a kill, not a cancel. Now moving in. Pulls away. Takes down another base. Or takes down another queen. We got some Locust waves coming in. But the carriers, they're fine. They can just shut this down. We have 6 Corruptors in production. That will help. Void Ray getting low. Now, depending on how the Corruptors engage, they can maybe focus on the carriers, but there's no ground army. Like, the ground army is struggling. Stalkers and Zealots are breaking through. Final queen goes down. And that should just be too much. Should be too much at this point. Hunter moving in. Yeah, catching up the Corruptors. And they can't target them the carriers. It's not going to happen. There's just too many carriers, too much Sky Toss, too much Ground Toss even. And Hunter, he will claim the series. CristoDorado, he was a little bit more successful with his cheese against Davo, but less so here against Hunter. Here, less so. As he will lose the Nidus. GG gets called, and Hunter will take the series 3-0, taking down CristoDorado. GG. GG. Should be more optimized. Should be. I mean, the ladder can still be a chaotic place. Can still be very chaotic, regardless. GG. Like, for example, what Cristo is doing here in these games is not standard. It is not optimized, regardless. So it's fine. GG, well played. With that, Hunter, he will claim the series. Shout out to Cristo, though, for again having an entertaining series. Non-stop all-ins, slight variations here and there when it comes to the opener, slight variations. And with that, Hunter does claim it. Very well done, very well played. And that leads us into our final series, of the broadcast here. Again, this is my first time casting Hunter. I'm unfamiliar with him. Based on what I saw in that series, it does look like Hunter is very familiar with Cristo's playstyle. Especially because in game 1, it felt like he was almost blind countering Nidus without seeing it himself. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's all that Cristo does on the ladder and that they faced on the ladder before, or even in regional tournaments in Spain. That would not surprise me. But what about Davito? Because here we go. We saw Davo popping off earlier against Zerg. He did get shut down by Cheese. But how does Hunter compare to a Terran player? A much more standard Terran at that. Davo, he's not too chaotic when it comes to his builds, when it comes to his play. He's more of a reactive player, more of a standard player. That might be different though against Protoss. We do see a lot of Terran aggression in TVP, like double gas openers, 1-base all-ins, 2-base all-ins, pull the boys. I wouldn't be surprised if Davo was that kind of player to like end the game early against Protoss. But here we go.